welcome back to the Fitch channel. So today we're going to be reviewing the Nitecore MH12S. So this flashlight has 1800 lumens, and so a whole bunch of interesting features we'll be getting into. I'll be showing you. Let's go ahead and open this up. We'll take out right here. All right, so in the back we have a lanyard, some spare O-rings, and we have a clip. A little pocket clip here you can clip onto the flashlight. I like when they make them where they're removable. That way if you don't want to have this on there all the time, you can actually just pull it back off. All right, and then they have the USB to USB-C charging cable. And again, super nice. They've included the little Velcro strap here to help organize your cable. All right, then this right here, this is a battery magazine. And I'll get into this here in just a bit, explain what that would be used for. I do have the actual flashlight. So this is aluminum case body. So it helps it not be too excessively heavy, but still giving you kind of a premium feel in your hand. And it looks like the flashlight, a lot of times the flashlight will come with some like square or hexagonal shapes to kind of help the flashlight from rolling. This actually has a bit quite round frame there. Right, then this is the holster. And now the holster is absolutely awesome. This is probably the best holster I've seen on a belt for a flashlight ever. What's so cool about it is actually the ability to adjust the width of this part right here. So whenever you snap this onto your belt, when you clip this onto your belt, you can adjust. And so what you would do is you would just pop these off. And so if you have a larger belt, then all you need to do is you'd scoot this down. And that way you'd be able to change the size, or basically be able to accommodate the size of your belt. And so you can move this down and actually make a couple different sizes. And so that's brilliant, in my opinion. That's brilliant. I've not seen that before. The holster in and of itself feels very high quality. A lot of times you'll see flashlights come with like a nylon holster or some kind of, like a material. Maybe it's a Cordura or whatever. But this plastic one actually has a very premium feel to it. I like that the clip is adjustable. And so definitely a major plus with the holster. All right, and then the battery that it has here is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. All right, so it's a nice, it's a really big battery here. And so this is where the battery holster actually comes in. You can actually use like an 18650 battery. And so what you do is, basically you just toss that in there. Make sure you have your plus and your minuses all right. And you can slide this back into the flashlight. Just like that. And then your flashlight will work on an 18650. Now the 18650 is a very easy to come by battery. And so that actually makes it really nice. You can have a bunch of spare batteries you can use, or you can carry, should I say. And that's not the only battery that it accepts. It also accepts a CR123 battery. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. I don't have that battery here to show you, unfortunately. Yeah, it's called a CR123 battery. But it's also basically some spare batteries you can carry. And so if this dies, this battery actually doesn't die. If it becomes discharged, you can actually swap batteries and you're back at a full battery again. All right, talking about charges. This flashlight has a USB-C charging port, which USB-C is super nice that they've had that on there. All right, so you can charge that up. All right, and then the next thing here is actually the brightness of the flashlight. Like I said, this is 1800 lumens. And so on the back is you actually have your on-off switch. So it's nice and rubbery switch back here. And then towards the front, you have a battery that, not a battery, you have a button here, and it's meant for scrolling through your modes. And so when you turn on your flashlight, you click this button, and now it's on Moonlight. Now this has a true Moonlight. It is, if I'm not mistaken, it's 0.5 lumens is all. And so this can last, this battery, if it's fully charged, and you use just the Moonlight, which in this bright light, you can't hardly tell, but in full darkness, you know, like if you're out actually somewhere where it's dark, that's enough for you can see around, you can get what you need. You're not going to be like illuminating the entire area, but it's just enough for if you wanted to save battery life. So it's nice that it has the Moonlight feature. And so this button then scrolls through your different brightnesses all the way up to 1800 lumens, which from this distance right here, I already feel heat on my palm. And so that's really bright flashlight. All right, and then if you hold down the mode button, you go into strobe. If you keep holding it, it goes into beacon mode, in which that's all that does is just flashes there for you. And so once again, you got the strobe, the beacon, and then it has the SOS. All right, so just like that. And then actually the flashlight also has memory mode. And so if I lay the flashlight on, like let's say medium brightness, turn it off, turn it back on, we're back to this medium brightness. And that's important because if you wanted to use this flashlight, let's say on your AR-15, you can attach this, you can get the rails to attach that. And so what you could do is you could actually have it set to where it's on strobe, you turn it off, and then as soon as you turn this on, it'll immediately go back into strobe. And so that's a convenient feature that it does the memory. And then there's one more thing that is actually like really amazing for me because I've not seen this on a flashlight before. Go ahead and turn this off. Here we go. If you push the mode button and click the on button, you're going to notice you have a little blue LED light up right in the middle. And it's going to blink however many times it blinks. Then it will pause, then it'll blink again. That's the amount of voltage that the battery still has. Okay, now usually flashlights just do like green light is full, you know, yellow is kind of midway, and red is empty, right? Here you can be able to tell how many voltage. And so the first number is your whole number, and then the pause, then you have a decimal number. All right, so I'll go show you that. All right, so and at this angle, I cannot see with the brightness. Let me try this one more time. Up closer. Yeah, this overhead light is overpowering. We'll do this in the dark. All right, we'll push that button. Click this. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1. All right, what that means is the battery has 4.1 volts. All right, and so the maximum voltage for this battery is 4.2. And so we have that the 4 flashes and then the 2. I'm sorry, the 4 flashes and the 1. That means it's almost full. Let's see, I can't see on the flashlight here. In fact, right here, I think it says 3.6. But on the back of the box here, let's see, or maybe it was in the instructions when I was reading it. All right, so it said 4.2 is the maximum voltage for this battery. And so it's convenient because you actually can see how many voltage, how much voltage you have left in your battery. All right, and then one last thing with this flashlight is, if you notice to turn this on, we scroll from less to brighter, right? So from your lowest to your brightest. And then I already showed there were 3 different three different special modes. That was the strobe, the beacon, and the SOS. But if you hold down the mode button and then you click and you hold the power on button for 3 seconds, like this, so 1, 2, 3, you notice it flashed twice and then it turned on. So now what it's going to do is it's going to go from the brightest setting gradually down to the lowest. All right, and now this is what they call tactical setting. All right, so you start on your brightest and it scrolls down to the lowest. Whereas on the other one, which is called the everyday setting, you start from your lowest and you work your way up the brightnesses. And also, this only has one special mode, which is just strobe. And so there's no SOS, There's no beacon in this mode. All right, and the last thing we're gonna do, as far as like testing goes, is we're just gonna submerge this in water, because this has, it's IP68, which means that it can stand up to 2 meters of water or dust particles, and basically it shouldn't have any trouble. And so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna test that out. So I'm gonna move some water over here onto our table. All right, so this time I have a bigger tub of water. It's not the 2 meters that this is rated at. So what we want to do before we submerge this, you want to make sure that the charging port is nice and tightly shut. All right, we want to make sure that the tail cap is nice and tight. All right, and let's turn this on, and we'll just drop it in. Just that clunk in there pretty hard. All right, so this should be able to withstand the water for, if I'm not mistaken, it's up to, what is it, up to 30 minutes or up to an hour and a half, something like that. I can't remember now what the rating actually stands for. All right, so let's check the buttons and see if they work underwater. So we'll scroll through the brightnesses. All right, so you can see that is good. All right, so the button works. Let's try the power button. All right, so that turns off, turns on. Just swish around. All right, let's go ahead and take this back out. I doubt you guys want to watch that in there for 30 minutes to an hour. And what we want to do now is we're going to check the ports, make sure they are dry. Then we're going to check the battery, make sure it is dry. Because if it's letting water in, it wouldn't have survived half an hour to an hour. All right, so the lens is dry. No water has escaped, or entered, should I say. Let's check the port. All right, inside the port is dry. I can see a teeny tiny drop of water towards the side, but not even close to the port. All right, let's check our battery. All right, the battery is dry. No signs of water getting in. All right, cool. All right, so it survived the water test here. No signs of any trouble. Still turns on. Still scrolls through the brightnesses. All right, so that is the Nitecore MH12S. And so let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you think about the holster that it comes with. Personally, I think that is an awesome holster there. A very convenient way to carry the flashlight. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.